Hi, Michelle. Hi, it's lovely to see you.
Hi, and you, and you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, only a pleasure. Well, this is it's a dry run for the show, really. I was just hoping that you could ask me some questions and I'll give you answers because I want to give people a flavour of what my podcast is all about.
Absolutely. So I believe that it's launching on Monday, tomorrow. What's it called?
That's right. Monday, 10th of January, that's the launch day. Very exciting. And it's called the Mind-Body-Spirit Connection.
Oh, that sounds interesting. So, I mean, could you give me an example of some of the topics that you're going to be covering?
Well, I suppose it's fair to say it's holistic health. I have friends who talk about seeing the big picture, which to me always sounds a bit vague, but holistic means the whole picture, which is mind, body and spirit.
Brilliant. But I thought you were an accountant.
Ah, yes, you're quite right. I am. Directly after my degree, I took a teacher training course because when I was at school, I always enjoyed explaining things to people, making complicated things simple. And my brother reminds me even these days how good I always used to be at teaching. So I thought it was a sensible thing to do after my degree.
Yeah.
However, it didn't take me very long to realize that I'd never left school. And suddenly there was nothing I wanted more than to get out of school. So I started figuring out what I could do. And accountancy is one of those trainings, qualifications that you can take on top of whatever else you've done.
Right.
That's why I became an accountant. I've always liked figures. So for most of my working life, my employed working life, I was an accountant.
Ah, right. Sorry, I think I interrupted you, but so tell me about the content of the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, it's about 17 years ago. I suffered a really stupid accident. It was a moment of inattention and I've been suffering, it took me 2 years to recover from it because I managed to sprain my back. And that was when I discovered exactly how useless Western medicine is. Because all they do is treat the symptoms. They give you chemicals, painkillers, and the painkillers don't even work. If you've ever come across anybody with a back problem, you'll know how darn difficult it is to.
Oh yeah.
So I was willing to try anything. I tried faith healing, I tried acupuncture and all sorts of other alternative therapies, and basically nothing worked.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to meet a healer. She practiced as a chiropractor, but she had the gift, and it was energy that she was using. So I noticed what she was doing with her hands and crisscrossing the energy and so forth. She wasn't terribly talkative, but she did get me interested and pointed me in the direction of a few books. And then I went on some courses, and I am actually now qualified with the Mortar Institute as a coach and as a facilitator in the energy codes. And that's my driving force at the moment. Super.
So are you saying that the mind, body and spirit are all connected? Is this the podcast?
Yeah, that's right. We are very much connected. It's like a horse and carriage and driver. They're not much use individually. And it's the spirit, which it's like the glue that keeps everything together.
Yeah. So is this podcast for religious people or?
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. But it can be or it can't be. It really doesn't matter. You know, you hear so many people these days say, well, I'm spiritual really, but I'm not religious.
Yeah.
I think school puts people off religion. I think it's the way it's rammed home sometimes. And I think it was great in the Middle Ages when people needed that kind of thing, but it hasn't really moved with the times.
Yeah, sure. So do you think, and we are all too well educated nowadays to submit at the moment as well?
Well, we think we are. The trouble is, whilst we don't need religion, for many people that's come to mean that they don't need God either. So I think you can take things too far. And I just like to think in terms of balance and choice, and people should just do what they feel. But, you know, science, specifically quantum physics or quantum mechanics, to give it its right name, it's beginning to show us, it's coming into line with what the Eastern religions, the real spirituality, you know, the meditation and the yoga and so forth, what they've known for thousands of years. And it's really coming into Western culture slowly, by degrees, within the last 100 years or so.
Yeah. And will the podcast always be released on a Monday?
No, Monday's the launch day. And
Okay.
I believe that about 4 of my podcasts are going to be aired all at once. So anyone who wants to tune in on Monday, just have it on in the background while you're doing something else, because it's good for figures. It's good for my ratings, if I even get rated. But this is the advice. Please just listen or have it on, let it run on Monday. But in future, the release day will be Friday. I'll be releasing a podcast every Friday.
Every Friday. And how long will each episode last?
Well, at the moment they are on average somewhere between 16 and 20 minutes. They might get longer in future. I will be having guests in future, but at the moment it's just me, and it's short and sweet, really. I try not to go into too much depth at the moment until my audience settles down, and I get returning listeners who are really interested in what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And so you'll be doing interviews with people.
I will. Yeah. I've already got lots of volunteers from the various groups that you and I are part of.
Brilliant. Super.
Okay, well, Michelle, thank you very much. I think that's covered everything that I wanted to cover. And thanks again for giving me your time.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.